Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, How to Apply to Teach in the USA with EPI. I'm Kimberly Daggerhart, Director of Communications here at Educational Partners International, and we are so glad to have you with us today. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. You'll have the opportunity to submit questions by typing your questions into the comment box at any time during the presentation. We'll collect these and address them at the end. I'd now like to introduce our presenter, Jessica, our content specialist here at EPI.
Hello everyone, and my name is Jessica, as Kimberly mentioned, and I work as a content specialist for EPI. I am from the mountains of North Carolina, and before working for EPI, I taught English at the community college level. And I'm really excited to have a job that combines my passion for education with my passion for cultural exchange. Today we will be talking about how to apply to teach in the U.S. with Educational Partners International. During this webinar, we will go over how to start your application and what documents you will need for it. We will also explain the purpose of the application and give you some tips that will make the process go as quickly as possible. If you're joining us for the first time, we are Educational Partners International, or EPI for short, and we are a cultural exchange program that brings international teachers to teach in K-12 schools in the United States. Our mission is to bring some of the best teachers from around the world to come to the U.S. to share their cultural experiences. As you can read here, our goal is to strengthen K-12 education by discovering and empowering the world's best international teachers to facilitate authentic cultural exchange. The results include teachers and students that become lifelong learners, embrace 21st century skills, and serve as change agents in an interconnected world of global understanding. While we work with schools across the southern United States, our home office is in North Carolina, which is about where the arrow is on that map there. We would love to know where you are from too, so please go ahead and tell us in the comments. So now that you have some background on who we are, it is important to understand EPI's process. Our process for bringing teachers like you to the United States looks like this. First, you complete an application so that we know you are eligible for our program and will be a strong candidate for cultural exchange. The application process includes filling out a thorough online form, uploading official documents, and 2 interviews with EPI team members. After you've completed the application process, you are moved to the approved stage where you interview at one of our partnered schools. Once you complete a successful school interview, you are placed in the school and become an official EPI program member. So let's take a closer look at the first step in the process, the application. EPI's application is thorough, but it does a few important things for you. First, filling out the application creates a professional profile for schools to look at when they are considering teachers for interviews. We also use the information you provide on the application to decide whether or not you meet our program eligibility requirements. Some of the requirements for being an EPI teacher are that you are currently teaching, have 2 years full-time teaching experience, and that you have the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree. Finally, the application helps you collect documents that you will need to get a visa, travel to the United States, and to get a teaching license. So you have read about EPI's and our requirements, and you have decided that you want to apply to teach in the USA. How do you get started? Well, the first step is to go to our website, teachwithepi.com/teachers. Once you are there, you will scroll down until you see the orange button that says click here to apply. Then you will need to answer some questions about your eligibility. After you answer the questions and click the submit button, you will be able to make an account with your email address and start your application. Once you start your application, it is important that you prioritize completing your personal and professional profile as soon as possible so that you can quickly move to the next stage in the application process. So EPI's application also requires documentation to be sure that you are able to travel and teach in the United States. So what documents will you need to get to complete your application? Here we have a list of most of the documents you will need to upload to your application before you are eligible for school interviews. We ask for copies of all pages of your passport, diploma, transcripts, criminal background checks, proof of employment, and a credential evaluation from an NACES approved company. If you have a valid driver's license and wish to drive in the United States, we will also need a copy of your driver's license, but driving is not a requirement for the program. When you are first starting your application, you should prioritize the passport pages, diplomas, and transcripts because we will need these documents before we can invite you for interviews with EPI team members. The only place you should ever upload these documents is to the official EPI website, that is teachwithepi.com. To protect your privacy, you should never upload any documents to Facebook. We will not accept any of your documents through Facebook. So one of the most common questions our candidates ask about the application process is how long does it take? As we've already stated, the application process includes processing all of your documents and 2 interviews with EPI team members. So how long the process takes typically depends on how quickly you can collect and upload all of the appropriate documents. But today I have some tips on what you can do to make sure the application goes as quickly and smoothly as possible. First, be sure to read all of our requirements before you apply. You can find our requirements at teachwithepi.com/teacher requirements. When completing the application, you will need to be sure to read and follow all directions on the application carefully. You will also want to proofread all your answers on the application, as any typos made with spelling and dates can make the process take longer. Finally, you will need to create your account with a valid email address and check your email regularly. We will only be able to discuss your application through email, so it is important that you are looking for emails from EPI about your application status. So before we answer your questions today, I would like to show you a brief video of some of our teachers sharing their culture with their community in the United States. After this video, we will be answering your questions in a live question and answer session. So here is their story.
We always meet with the immersion teachers and we were like, what can we do that is fun, that people can get excited about, they can come, and we can just share a little bit of our culture. Something that we all had in common was really music and dancing, and just we're very happy people because our students in immersion are exposed to our cultures daily, but we thought that could include the whole community.
We want to bring the music because music is our style, music is our way, music is in our veins.
We can show what music represents for us, the importance that the rhythm has for us, and how you can communicate culturally also by music.
I think the value of a cultural exchange program is for people just to be ambassadors of their country, because not everybody's as lucky to travel places or to know places. By a person just coming here or vice versa, you have a little window of the culture of everything.
For our question and answer session, I will be answering any questions that you have left in the comments. So if you have not yet submitted your questions, please ask them now. We also encourage you to tell us about yourself. We would love to know where you are from and what you are currently teaching. I'm joined again with Kimberly, who has collected the questions that you've submitted during the presentation. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, Jessica, and hello to all the teachers joining us from around the world today. We'd like to welcome teachers from Jamaica, the Philippines, Indonesia, Colombia, South Africa, and more. All right, Jessica, our first question today is, are you looking for geography teachers?
So yes, we do place geography teachers. We place teachers in all subjects that we teach in United States grades, kindergarten through 12th grade. So that includes geography. It also includes subjects like English, music, art, math, science. So really all subjects that you can think of that we would teach in American grades K through 12.
Great. Our next question is, how long does it take to apply for this program?
All right, so this is kind of a complicated question because it doesn't always take a set amount of time. The application process means processing all of your documents and doing those 2 EPI team member interviews that we mentioned. So a lot of it depends on how quickly you can upload your documents and how quickly you get your interviews with EPI team members.
All right, our next question is, can I bring my child with me to the USA?
This is a very common question. So yes, we do sponsor J2 visas. We will need to know that you can support your child in the United States. So we will probably have you do some budget related things to make sure that you can support your family in the United States. But yes, we do sponsor J2 visas.
Right, and EPI helps with that part of the program as well. We make sure you're prepared.
Yes, definitely.
All right, our next question is also a pretty common one. People really want to know, what are the requirements?
Okay, so I touched on this earlier with an extensive list, but the basic requirements for the program are that you are currently teaching, that you have at least 2 years full-time teaching experience, that you have what we call strong English skills, which means English can be your second language, but you have to be fluent in it, and that you have the equivalent of a United States bachelor's degree.
Our next question is, how can I restart my application?
This is also a common question. So the best thing to do if you need to restart or reactivate your application is to email us at team@teachwithepi.com. We'll give you an update on what your application status is and let you know what you need to do in order to reactivate it.
Next question, is there an application fee?
So no, there is no application fee. There are documents related to the application that cost money, such as the criminal background checks and the certified translations, and you are responsible for paying whatever costs there are for those documents, but EPI will never charge you an application fee.
All right, our next question is there an age limit?
This is another really common one, so no age limit. We are looking for the best teachers from around the world, and that can be many different ages. So as long as you meet those other basic requirements we talked about, such as having the bachelor's degree, having 2 years full-time teaching experience, there is no age limit.
All right, so we had somebody who just joined us, and they're wondering if we are looking for ESL teachers.
Yes, so we are
I guess we should define that as well. What does ESL stand for?
So ESL are English as a second language teachers. So in the United States, those are teachers who work with students who do not speak English or may just be struggling with English because it's not their first language, and they help to teach them better English skills. And yes, we do place ESL teachers in EPI's program.
Great. Okay, so this is our last question for right now. How can I start my application?
All right, so we had restart. Now we have beginning the application. To begin your application, you just go to our website, teachwithepi.com. You'll scroll down, you'll see a big orange button that says click here to apply. You click the button. When you click here to apply, you will have questions that you'll need to answer about your eligibility, and then you can start your application by creating an account.
All right, well, that was our last question. If you didn't get to ask your question, you can just go ahead and leave that in the comments, and we will answer all remaining questions in the comments right after the broadcast.
All right, thank you, Kimberly.
Thanks, Jessica.
So now that you know more about how to apply, let's talk about next steps. First, if you have not applied yet, go to teachwithepi.com and start the application process. If you have started the application but have questions about how to continue, email us at team@teachwithepi.com with your questions. Finally, go to teachwithepi.com/webinars to sign up for our future webinars and to watch all of our previous webinars. To finish off our presentation today, I would like to leave you with this quote as a reminder of why cultural exchange is so important and why we are so eager to bring teachers like you to the United States. J. William Fulbright was a U.S. Senator and the founder of the Fulbright Program. He said, "The essence of intercultural education is the acquisition of empathy, the ability to see the world as others see it, and to allow for the possibility that others may see something that we have failed to see or may see it more accurately." We are dedicated to helping teachers like you come to the U.S. so that we may learn from each other's unique perspectives, just like Fulbright talks about here. Okay, so that's all for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any further questions, please email us at team@teachwithepi.com. Also, be sure to sign up for our webinar mailing list at teachwithepi.com/webinars. On behalf of everyone at EPI, thank you for joining us today and have a great day, everybody.